Ladies and gentlemen, we are straight in today. Welcome to another exciting race night for FETTI'S No Skips Invitational. I am Speedrun, normally behind the scenes a lot of the time, but I'm actually here on the commentary desk today, joined by not one, but two commentators today. First up, you know him, you love him, you hear him just about every time this stream turns on. It's Chuck Nicey. Chuck Nicey, hello. Excellent, and good to have you. And joining me also is someone who's quite a prominent Spider-Man runner, has taken a bit of time off, but now is back lurking in the scenes, not taking part in this tournament specifically, but here to commentate with us today. It's G Groove. Hello.
From getting tricked by it, I now go by G Groove. Just so y'all know what's up. So if you see G Groove or the Flying Felicia on Discord, please block that account ASAP.
Indeed, and that would have all been great if I had the setup right and everyone could hear us. So we're going to try it again because it looks like the audio wasn't quite working. So by the way, hello everyone. You all heard me, but Chuck's here. Hello, Chuck.
Hi everyone. Man, it's late for Spyron, so you know what?
Yeah.
Give him a little grace.
Blame that.
Give him a little grace.
Yeah.
I can't quite claim baby brain. I'm not quite the right half of the relationship to do that, but I'm gonna kind of call it that. We'll call it that. And also G Groove. Hello,
give it about 6 months.
Yeah.
Hi.
You heard G Groove towards the end.
Hey Felicia. How y'all doing?
Excellent. Right. We're there, and we're rolling. So we've got another race on our hands, the second to last race of round 2. It will be Sotalia versus Exotic Sponge. But before we get there, we are very, very happy to say that this tournament is indeed sponsored by Nerd U. Now, Nerd U are a comics and collectible shop for nerds by nerds. They are based in Commerce, Georgia, and they can supply you with comics, trading cards, and more. They have a Discord, they have a whatnot, they have a Facebook site, so any location generally on the internet, you'll probably be able to find Nerd U for all your comics and collectible needs. So check them out. I hear there's a discount potentially if you told them you came from the stream. So if you're in need for comics, if you're in need for nerd memorabilia, anything like that, then please do check them out because they have kindly sponsored us, and so we should return the love where possible. Now, speaking of love, we have two people potentially who love this game. I don't know if that's necessarily true. We can definitely ask them. But we have two people who are very excited to run this game tonight. We have Sotalia and Exotic Sponge. Now, Chuck, talk to us a little bit about Sotalia coming into this race and his chances potentially.
Sotalia, you love him. You sometimes hate him if your name is Fetty. But he is one of our top runners of the community. Running on emulator, as always, never touched hardware in his life, with a best run time of 33:59, and that is a phenomenal time for no skips. That is better than a majority of the leaderboards for any percent. So a very competent runner. Seed number 2 for him. Total amount of points 0 because he did not PB or anything that would grant him any points in the seeding phase. But that's perfectly fine. He has plenty of chance to earn some points today. And he's been with us for a long time, September 2022. Knows this game pretty much inside and out, and is one of the top 3 runners for PlayStation. One of the golden trinity of Spider-Man runners for us. And his most hated level, Bugle Basement, which is interesting. Not a lot of people hate Bugle Basement specifically, except maybe Zoe, and it looks like it seems to be for the same reason. He is a certified Mike hater, and we hate to see that, but hopefully he doesn't take that hate to the next level and ruin his points by killing Mike.
Yeah, we would not like to see that. Not often that you get a certified Mike hater, but as a hater of Bugle Basement, you have to assume that's probably what it is. It just hates Mike, actually. So, such a shame. Such a shame. Now, G Groove, Exotic Sponge, a newer runner to the scene, but talk us through his stats.
Well, as you can see, he is much lower on the seed compared to Soda, so still got a way to go in terms of skill. But because this is a game where just about anything can happen, you just never know is all I can really say. But he's gotten a lot of points, so he's doing a lot of the crazy stuff that, how do I put it? He could just be doing the run straight ahead and that's it, but he's taking time to do things like hug Mike, so that's getting him some points there. He's only been running since May of this year, so not nearly as long. But as we all know, luck is the great equalizer. Most level is Spidey versus Carnage, which, seeing if that's a level that should be easy to optimize and yet oftentimes isn't, I don't blame him in the slightest.
No, absolutely not. Carnage, bit of a menace, actually. More of a menace, potentially, than Spider-Man, it could be said. But we will see if he plays kind today, as we will see with all different enemies and bosses alike in this run and race today, as we transition over to see what both runners are up to. Looks like Sponge getting in some quick practice before we do start. But we will start this race momentarily. So,
And Soda is currently showing off his recent obsession with video games involving chickens.
yes, we were talking about this just before we went live, that Solar, it does seem, has potentially a little bit of a chicken craze going on.
And then we found out that technically, he jokingly asked after he pointed this out, he's like, is there a chicken in Spider-Man? And I'm like, wait a minute. I looked it up, and in Spider-Ham, the Green Goblin is a chicken named Green Gobbler.
Insane. Just an insane name all around.
I don't want to get pedantic, but Green Gobbler seems to suggest that he is a turkey, not a chicken.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
wait,
are
you're
we
right.
absolutely certain? Are we okay? Well, I'm sure that there was plenty of chances for a chicken to show up in Spider-Ham. Looks like we have a chicken showing up here in Spider-Man with Sodalier on our screen, and that brings us to a great ready screen for these two. We need to get it lined up, and it looks like Sponge is just about ready. We'll get confirmation here in the setup, and once both of our runners are ready, we will get started. And I am excited to see this because Sponge has already won at least one race before. So let's see how this race goes. Going now.
Both runners off now. I think Sponge started his timer slightly early before I pressed easy, but that is fine. That is fine. I don't think he is running the auto split, he said, just because apparently it doesn't work sometimes. I don't think Monch has turned it on for him, unfortunately, today, but that is all good, as both runners straight off to the races. Let's see. Now, we haven't seen, I feel like, much from Sotalier at all, really, outside of his seeding runs recently. So I don't know how much practice he has been putting in. I think he had that one stream semi-recently, not too long after, where he did some no skips, sorry. But I wasn't there to see that, so I don't know actually how that went for him.
And we can't get a good feel for how good Soda will do based off of his seeding runs.
No.
He did have a couple of strong ones, but his first one in that seeding run stream was absolute insanity, as he kept absolutely memeing on our commentators, going for and setting up glitches, causing such a nuisance that Fetty himself had to declare a new rule stating that glitches cannot be set up for in any capacity during the no skips run. Otherwise, it will constitute a disqualification.
Yeah, quite impressive
Yeah.
to be that mischievous and sneaky, I guess, to cause a whole rule to be written just because you tried to do some stuff. So fair play to Sotalier, I guess. So that is fine. As here he comes, double button press, absolutely nails it. An Exotic Sponge not too far behind, about to attempt the same now. We'll see if he also nails it. Looking for the lineup.
That trick is harder to get than you would think at times.
Yeah, it's quite
Maybe a bit
tricky.
easier on emulator due to the higher frame rate, but on console, that one is such a pain.
It is, as I think, there we go, 2 out of 5 hostages, making sure to save that second one. That one seems to be a bit temperamental sometimes. Sometimes you'll save
Yeah.
him before you even head up to the vent. Other times you'll have to drop down afterwards to save him, and other times you literally just have to like run circles. I know, Chuck, you've had problems in the past of having to like run circles around the bank robbers before they even get noticed. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. When I had my run, I had to quite literally run a circle around the guy, and yet it still did not aggro him. So I ended up absolutely losing time trying to get that second hostage. Now it is interesting to see Soda, our experienced runner here, doesn't seem to be going for too many comics so far, which makes this sort of closeness in their race all the more interesting. I wonder if this is showing off a lot of Sponge's growth as a speedrunner.
Yeah.
I won't jinx anything now, but it could spell good things for the future.
Potentially,
We'll
yeah.
Especially since
see.
It
Jinx
looks
is a
like
DC Comics character, so don't want that in our Spider-Man stream.
the sacrilege.
Oh,
You're absolutely
absolutely.
right. Yeah. As it does look like Sponge did manage to hit the double button in this second room here. Solia actually didn't manage to hit the double button, so a bit of time lost for him there. As he does beat him to placing the bomb in the safe, but again, Sponge not far behind. Yeah, potentially just respect shown to Sponge from Sotelade by the fact of not grabbing these comics that potentially you'd expect him to collect on the way, especially the ones that aren't too far out of the way on these early levels. So we will see if that trend continues. I don't know if they are paying attention to each other's streams and to where they are as the runs continue. So we shall see if that does make any difference, as both runners now preparing to meet the first boss of the game, the Scorpion. Just a little
Who
second.
can be a great major equalizer in these races. While we do, you can get one cycle pretty easily once you realize the best pattern. As long as James Joe and Jameson runs behind something that isn't a plant, you're set. But if he runs behind a plant, well, then Jameson's your biggest hater.
Yeah, the chances of you one cycling drop fairly significantly if he does run behind that little plant. Exotic Sponge showing off his movement though and the practice that he's been putting in. Again, Sponge, not someone who's run this game as long as Sotelia, absolutely not, but still, great runner and great skill has been put and time put into his practice to make sure that he's going to pull off all the tricks that he can need to compete with Sotelia here. As Sotelia does get a one cycle, so no issue from him there. We'll see if Sponge can pull off the same.
Absolutely. And I think at this point we can go ahead and say that Soda is clearly in the lead, at least for the moment here. We'll see if that lead gets a little bit larger if Jonah decides not to play nice. And there it is. There it is, just as I say it. That is about 15 to 20 seconds lost for Sponge. He's going to need to work real hard to catch back up on that. We'll have to see if Soda is going to use that extra time to gather a comic or two and earn some points. It looks like Soda's not wasting any time.
Yeah.
Just going straight for the win if possible.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
With him being a bit of a memer, he would want to go for these points, but he's like, nah, I'll do the run legit.
Yeah, it's taking it seriously, I guess, when it counts. That's fair play to him. Yeah, and I don't even know, like, I guess the point of most people not telling everyone. Yeah, of not telling everyone what they're potentially aiming for with the prizes that you can spend points on is just to make sure that other people don't steal from each other.
Yeah.
So I've no idea what Sotally is aiming for here, but in theory needs to rack up a fair few points to be able to afford some of the more expensive items. So any comics along the way would be good. But so far, nothing picked up from either runner.
Absolutely. Both of these runners. Absolutely. These runners are going to need their points if they want any one of the fabulous prizes provided generously by our sponsor, Nerd U.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nerd U is, if anybody's watched any of FETTI'S streams outside of Spider-Man, anytime he shows off his comics, any new comics or new action figures or whatever, that's where he gets them. So you want a good spot to get your stuff that is a Spider-Man speedrunner approved, you go to Nerd U, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Now, it looks like Soda managed to get a bad shot from one of our Denny's. We're going to need to get some phase Denny's in chat to reflect that. But for now, Soda is still a comfortable level ahead as he's heading into Scale the Girders, just as Exotic Sponge is heading into the level just previous to that.
Yeah, some nice movement around these buildings and around the little girders there, just to make sure he doesn't lose too much height, makes his way into the Scale the Girders
Incredible.
level. Oh my days, absolutely flying up the girders as well there. A little bit caught on that last little section, but I feel like he flew up to the top there.
Indeed, that was pretty good stuff. Soda getting a little tripped up at the edge of that, and is going to take the long crawl up to the top of that box. Losing him just a little bit of time, but every second counts when it comes to this race.
Especially
So we'll
since
see.
there are no skips you can do to help you save time. This is pure movement, pure skill, which is like here's the thing, and I'm not saying this to say that skips or glitches for speedruns are not legit or anything like that, but there's something fun about glitchless and skipless runs, and that this is like purely just playing the game as absolute best as you can. I mean, finding glitches and stuff is an art on itself, and it's great for time management. If you don't have a lot of time to speedrun, it can make categories shorter. But there's still something special about being like, okay, no skips. I'm just going to play this game at absolute peak performance, and that's all you can really do here.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason this is FETTI'S tournament is because this is his favorite category. I think he falls into that category of people who enjoy the pureness of a no skips or a no glitches run, as opposed to something like the any percent where you can fly through walls and all sorts of stuff. So, yeah, it's definitely something to be enjoyed. Just seeing people just be so good at this game, to be able to move as cleanly as they do, and especially in a game like this where Spider-Man, not known to be the smoothest mover, if you can't control him very well, is a bit of an awkward guy to swing around in the air.
Understatement of the year right there.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
And speaking of smooth, that was a very smooth execution of the combo strat for Rhino, right up until the very last combo in which he finally switched over to Web Dome. We don't see that too often. I wonder if that was a strat employed in order to conserve web cartridges. I wonder if Soda is keeping in mind the need to conserve cartridges to earn points at the end of the race.
Oh, that is a good point. And there are other points where you do need a lot of webbing.
I was about to say, I thought for sure, surely he at least takes the arm there. Is he intentionally avoiding points? But no, he does take that one.
That comic would be easy. You know what? I have a theory. I think Soda's just trying to make Fetty as angry as possible with this, and so he's not going to try to earn any points to take away some of the fun.
Truth be told, if Soda is tuned into this stream, I think he realizes just how close Sponge is to him. And I think he would rather get a more comfortable victory than let that lead slip. So I'm willing to bet that that is probably why Soda is sticking straight to his guns, keeping to the no skips, especially since no skips is a weaker category for Soda, despite his fantastic times on the leaderboards. He does prefer skipping over no skipping, and has said multiple times it is hard not to skip.
Yeah,
or maybe he's trying to beat the game faster so he can more quickly get back to Mort the chicken.
That is also a strong possibility.
Yeah, we see some very nice swings at the end of this level here to keep himself nice and high to climb up to this end building in Chase Venom. In the meantime, Sponge, just approaching the second half of this level now, has also picked up a spider armor, so that'll be some extra points there. I didn't actually notice if he picked up the comic or not. I don't think he did, but something we can potentially go back and check. And a comic. Excellent. This is why we have chat.
Okay, thank goodness I didn't time him out.
Yeah.
Apparently, I have moderator ability, so he's got to watch himself in chat and make sure he's not goofing up.
Yeah.
No trolls, boys.
No, trolling, although by Venom, as certainly missed the final uppercut in the combo and didn't quite pull it off as quickly as he wanted to, but still managed to get the 3 cycle either way.
I think actually Soda did that sort of missing combo. He might have actually kind of recovered. He may have dropped an input on that combo, but I think it served him better by doing the quick little kick punch on Venom to get more damage out.
Yeah, I mean, it paid off. The 3 cycle was still there, so definitely didn't lose much time, if any at all, with the result of that little trick. And so now he's in to the lower half of the sewers, swinging
I'll
across
never
these
get
pipes.
over the fact that Venom's voice actor later went on to voice Cosmo in The Fairly Odd Parents. Two very different characters,
Yeah, some
two
insane
fairly
lore.
different voices.
Very good
Oh
lore.
my gosh.
Yeah, very impressive.
Amazing stuff. Luckily, Soda not going for the spider fly that we saw just before the stream for
Wait,
sewer
no, that's in the
entrance.
next level. He
Oh,
can
it's in
still
the next one?
potentially go for it. Yes,
If
in the
he
next
does,
level.
he's disqualified. He can't do it. He
Yeah,
can't set up for
Oh
glitches.
boy!
Fetty's lurking,
Okay,
so
guys.
you know you'll have
Yeah.
something to say.
Is he gonna troll? Is
Yeah,
he just gonna troll?
we got a
Fetty?
witness.
Is he gonna troll Fetty, or is he gonna actually go for it? This could be interesting.
Yeah, this
Here's
looks
something
relatively
not.
normal.
Go for it.
Yeah, this looks relatively normal so far. I think we're safe. But here's a chance to earn some more points. Let's have a see. God pipes. God pipes. Ooh.
Oh,
There
it is.
Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
Love it.
Not a
That
single
was
pipe touched. We're gonna
beautiful.
give him those points for that. God pipes. Congratulations to Soda for that. And hopefully we'll see a Sponge perform the exact same thing as he approaches Sewer Cavern here shortly. These racers still, again, surprisingly close, given the fact that Soda is a top runner and Sponge is one of our newest runners in the community. If you've been paying attention to the posted PBs, you'll see that Sponge has done a lot to really shoot forward in the leaderboard. I would not be surprised if we'll see something magical happen by the end of his race.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, what's really separating him is probably just that 1 cycle Scorpion at the minute. It's really that close. It's really close at the minute. So we'll see as we get into the gauntlet, as it's commonly known, once we get past Subway, just how much then the lead will either close or widen, as we will then head into kind of the second half of the game. But for now, we're going to see if Exotic Sponge can also pull off the God Pipes to earn himself some extra points. He's trying to line it up, make sure he's not too low when he takes the jump.
Number 1, 2, 3.
Oh, that's
and there it is, and that is a death on
early
Sewer
swing
Cavern.
cancel. Yeah, unfortunate there. The early swing cancel.
Toilet pipes.
Yeah, makes you fall like a rock. Gravity really takes hold if you swing cancel too early, and that is what we've just seen there. So unfortunately, nothing there. But I guess technically, if he does this again and doesn't touch a pipe, does that count? I don't know if that counts because he's attempted it twice. He's still technically not touched a pipe, regardless.
Ooh, he's going to need to. And that is another death here in Sewer Cavern. He's really going to need to step up his game. I think he'll need to take this a little safer going forward.
Everybody make a form a spirit bomb in the chat for Sponge, because I think he really needs... Or no. If he's SpongeBob, then everybody make Krabby Patties for him in the chat. That'll be what he needs.
I'd love a burger right now, honestly.
Amazing.
Not
A
gonna
what?
lie. A burger. I'd love a burger.
Oh,
right now, yeah.
I thought you said a Betty, and I'm like, is that what they call it in the UK?
No. That would be... yeah, I don't know.
That'd be
how.
bizarre.
Yeah, that would be bizarre. For sure, yeah. Just a burger is fine with me. Lovely, right,
Okay,
well,
fun
he has made
question
it
for the
across.
chat. Since we're both characters are in the boring level and there's not a lot going on. One question for the chat. What are your favorite toppings on a burger?
Ooh,
No,
see,
that is a tough one.
I'm dead simple, like just lettuce, cheese, tomato, or like do me any day. Maybe mushrooms if I'm feeling like adventurous. Get some mushrooms in there potentially.
Interesting choice. I do love mushrooms myself.
Nice.
I'm a big advocate for egg on a burger. Egg on a burger is fantastic.
Oh, that's a good
Oh, I
shout,
agree.
actually.
That's an interesting one. All right, Soda, heading into the next level here. I forget what it's called, of course.
Sewage
But-
plant, I think?
I believe you're right, Sewage Plant. So here we are in Sewage Plant. We're going to see him hopefully not accidentally skip through the grate. We're good on that one.
Heard it through the grapevine.
Ah, nice.
It's important to remember that Sewage Plant here is one of the longest levels other than Subway when it comes to this run. And that is because of the no skips version. Skips version can be done in about 20 seconds, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah.
But no skips takes multiple minutes. to take care of because you got to go in through to get these switches. So execution is key in order to save time.
Absolutely. And especially now when Sponge is a little bit further behind than he was previously just due to the unfortunate attempts during the God Pipes level. So it does have a bit more time to lose if needs be during some of these longer levels where movement is key and mistakes have to be minimal to get through them as fast as possible. So we'll see just how he fares. He's done pretty well so far. This is looking relatively fast. And so I'm sure he will continue to
a
move on
tunnel
pretty good.
crawl yet, and that is the Crusher of Dreams.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a dangerous level to make mistakes on. So we'll see how Sotolir fares as he will reach that level first before Sponge. Sponge approaching the end of Subway now. We will keep an eye and see if he does hit the super train. Oh, skip leg day. Unfortunately,
By the way,
Sotolir.
Jesse says no bacon on burgers, and I'm like, how can you? Why would you want a burger without bacon?
Yeah, bacon on a burger is pretty good, actually. I will say that.
It is, but I can understand how it might be a little overkill when it comes to that.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point. Too many savory flavors. You need a contrast, which is why I think like egg works so well because it's a very different flavor compared to everything else.
Oh, I don't know if you saw that with the hidden switches.
Yeah, the
but
slight
Soda got an interesting
diagonal swing there was pretty cool.
Right, a skewed swing setup there because of the sloped surface that he was on for just a slight minute. And here we go. We're coming to tunnel crawl here for Soda.
Oh,
Let's
boy.
see if he can get it first try.
Oh boy. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, crisscross applesauce. Because this level.
Oh my goodness, okay,
can be
fair play. He
Oh,
just flew
man,
through
that
that
was
first
fast.
section. That's all right. I think that's pretty good, honestly. I don't even know if he'd need to do any zips on his second half, but he
Oh,
will anyway.
sheesh.
Okay,
Goodness
right.
gracious. He's on fire right there.
Yeah, we shouldn't have even doubted him, clearly. He's just absolutely smashed that level, and we will say nothing more as he continues
Well,
on.
hold on. If he doesn't get spat by a lizard here.
Honestly,
Okay,
this second half sometimes scares me more than that first half, just because of how awkward that swing is to the middle. Sometimes you land on it, sometimes you don't, and you're ready to press X to jump, and sometimes you press X and you're actually not quite stuck onto the top, and it's a bit dangerous. So
it's nerve-wracking to lose all that hard-earned progress of getting through the initial first half to go into that second half and make sure you do it exactly right and you don't fumble it. So, yeah, I can understand why that second half would be nerve-wracking.
It's that classic dilemma of like the harder tricks you focus on more, so you're less likely to mess up. But then once you get to the easier trick, you kind of turn your brain off, and that's when mistakes happen.
yeah, that's absolutely right.
Sponge having a little bit of trouble with these lizards not being too kind, holding on to him, and he's trying to match their hugs with his own here accidentally, and he's gotten. Yes, indeed. Lizards do love Spider-Man. Luckily, I believe that was the second half of the level.
Yep.
We are just at a fantastic point for this, where it's hard to focus on one runner at a time. But Soda coming here to Lizard Maze, trying to get as many zips off as possible, getting a little finicky with those zips, but not a huge deal at all.
His stream kind of went
There
weird
we go,
for a second,
yeah.
but it looks like we're back.
Stuttering a little bit, but we are
He's zipping
fine.
through quickly so that he can head over to our sponsor, Nerd U, because he probably wants to pick up some comic books.
Hell yeah, that's
Reminder,
definitely
if you
what
want to
we're
pick
doing.
up some comic books or other nerd merch, and to support the channel, because they've been supporting us, make sure to get all your nerdy stuff from Nerd U.
Look at this.
Thank you again, guys, for
sponsor time.
sponsoring us, for sponsoring FETTI'S podcast. So much good stuff, so much love. Thank you.
And speaking of good
Absolutely.
stuff, Sotolir has absolutely flown through that level, and he is now on to the second Venom boss fight. We'll see how kind Venom decides to be here. See if we can get any good spawns. Again, 3 perfect spawns. We'll net him some points. So something to keep an eye on is he's currently set on 4. And I'm sure, in theory, he'd want more than that, but I don't actually know if he is bothered.
An interesting strategy here, knocking out the lever, but going back the opposite direction in order to sort of prompt these good spawns from Venom. There's a lot of different sort of quote-unquote old wives' tales.
Yeah. Also, Sponge just made it
There
through
it
the
is.
tunnel just fine. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Ooh, no, okay.
Not
we don't
a
quite
perfect
get the
set of
3.
spawns for Sotolir. Sponge getting good work done with the tunnel crawl here. Both of them doing absolutely great work here. Again, it's really hard to keep track of both when such pivotal moments of the run are at stake for both of them here in this sewer section.
Yeah, and it's a real shame, honestly, that Sponge did die so many times on the God Pipes, just because of everything else been really, really clean, honestly. So it's a real shame that he is behind by the amount that he is, just due to that one level being slightly less optimal than I'm sure he'd have liked.
Let me throw out a question for you guys. How many hours do you think y'all put into practicing God Pipes before you started getting it consistently? Because
Oh,
I think it took
gosh.
me like 20, 30 hours of working through that level just to get it to the point where I was happy with it.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. I'm sure it was like an unholy amount of time. It's probably a bit ridiculous.
20 minutes.
Oh, of course, yeah, nice.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, I'm not going to go too into it here, but I feel like I got a good system down after practicing it pretty consistently for about 20 minutes.
Nice.
So,
Well, there we go. That's quite impressive.
we'll see. But we'll see how well that does for me later in the tournament. But no, I'm just teasing that. Still don't think I have that down perfectly.
Well,
But
nobody has
we'll
it down
see.
perfectly. It's about getting it down consistently enough, because this game is held together by duct tapes and prayer. Duct tapes and prayer. Y'all know what I mean.
Duct tape and paper clips. So
And chewing gum.
indeed. Sponge getting through the lizard maze here, not getting quite as many zips, a little bit slower getting through, but is still trucking on. Again, if we hadn't seen the bad luck of that tunnel crawl, this race probably would have been a lot closer, but there's still plenty of time left, and we do have Mysterio coming up, which has been a lot of bad luck for our runners so far.
Maybe
Not going to
that's
name any
why-
names.
Maybe that's why Soda's been saving cartridges.
And
'cause
Soda
he's
missed
like,
the generator. Losing a
Dang.
little bit of time here with that.
missed the Foo Fighters song.
Indeed.
And still, again, I don't know if he is paying attention, or again, if he is bothered at all by the fact that he needs some points, but not opting to get the points. Oh, look at that.
Whoa! That is so
Ooh.
cool.
Oh, man.
Well, that was a bit
Absolutely
fancy. We've not seen
stunting
that
us.
yet.
I also thought I thought for a second he was gonna get run over by the toilet paper roll, so I was kind of scared for a moment. Not gonna lie.
We're going to need Fetty to give us a final judgment on whether or
Oh,
not
no.
that was a skip.
You're absolutely right.
Oh, that's a good
Because
point.
that is technically skipping a very brief cutscene where
That is
Spider-Man looks
true.
around before jumping down in the
Ooh.
hole.
I can't believe you've said
That
this,
if
because
so,
you probably-
that would be very heartbreaking. I don't know if he's still here in the chat, but I think he's gonna need to at the very least go back over the footage to see if that counts. But for now, we're gonna have to keep going on without stopping until we get that official ruling.
Oh
Uh-oh.
no,
Uh-oh.
you've summoned him.
Okay, what happened?
Uh,
I'm looking at. I looked away
so-
for 2 seconds.
So in Stop the Presses, we see that Soda managed to skip that ending cutscene where Spider-Man looks around and jumps into a hole by dropping off the ceiling and swinging straight into the hole instead. So we're just...
Oh,
Oh,
to talk to him.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Oh no. Okay, we may have caused some drama. We may have caused
Uh-oh.
some drama.
oh, this is fun. Oh, this is fun.
Oh, gosh.
We'll have to see how this goes.
Everybody say your prayers for Soda.
Everyone
Holy
hold your
cow.
breath. Everyone hold your breath. If this is deemed a skip, I do believe Soda's going to have to go back to Stop the Presses to get it done. Oh, and Fetty does indeed have that comic, even though Soda may not have a chance to...
Oh, he did. He flashed up. I saw it. He had a little
Oh.
thing. It
Well,
flashed
there
up
we
for a
go.
second, so he does.
Then I guess we'll give
Okay.
him...
We
I
can
guess we'll give him
for that.
points for now. Based off of that, we'll see if he gets to keep those points.
Okay, well, he can't hear me, I guess, or he's just not listening to me. So that's fine. But we're considering that a trigger skip, right? Like that he skipped a cutscene trigger.
Yeah.
I guess technically
Okay.
because it's like half a second, like shorter just by not dropping in. The cutscene kind of like half plays, but I guess you technically skip the part of it just because of the nature of
I
doing
just
it.
know that he's gonna argue with me. It doesn't
Yes,
matter what
I'm
I. It
sure he
doesn't
will.
matter what I say. He's gonna argue with me.
I mean, if we're
Uh,
gonna consider swinging to the not hitting the crate in
exactly.
yeah, then I think that
Exactly.
has to be considered a skip. That
Yeah.
looks swag, but as soon as that was pointed out, I'm like, yeah, that's
Same
definitely a
with
skip.
what he did during his same with what he did during his what's it called?
Seating
The
run.
His
Yeah, the
seating
seating
run
run.
where he Fetty
In-
followed through the level to skip that
Yeah.
skippable cutscene. Yeah.
Oh my days, why has he done this? I mean, to be fair, like I can understand that it's like maybe he just doesn't consider that a trigger. Technically, I can understand. It's been like, oh, I'm just going fast, but
it is a trigger though. Like it
yeah.
is a trigger
Oh
that you
man.
Interesting.
if the trigger played, that's different. If the trigger played, because that's just like hitting two buttons at once. If the trigger played,
Yeah,
if the trigger didn't play,
it did. We can go back. We can get the insta replay for sure.
I
It
need
does
the instant replay.
the like the zoom in, like the camera trigger bit, like technically does happen. He just falls into the hole quicker than he would if he like.
But isn't
Sponge
that
was
kind
saying
of
now.
the
happen.
isn't that
This
kind of the
doesn't
same?
happen. What just happened with Sponge does not happen.
Yes, there's no waiting. He just kind of drops in, but the camera still does like the cinematic zoom or start store. But then it's you've already.
But
Kind
we
of
don't
passed
get
it.
that same sort of pause where Spider-Man
there's no
looks
pause.
around.
Spider-Man
So
doesn't pause.
I think that's going to require a little bit of further review, but for now, I think we should stick with the action here, as
I did too.
Exotic Sponge is going through Bugle Basement. Let's see if he hugs Mike. Looks like neither of our runners here are wasting any time with any comics or anything like that. And that's a switch taken care of.
He's trying.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
that is a hug from Mike. Fantastic. Not sure what he's supposed to do. That Mike gives him a kick, and he's on his way to that last generator. Meanwhile, Soda getting ready for his fight with Doc Ock.
I got a bit scared then. He swung quite fast into that cutscene. I got a bit scared that he might have nearly skipped that, but Sponge not skipping any cutscenes. He did manage to land in that cutscene before it was a bit too early, so that is fine. He'll make his way
Also,
to
it occurred
Mysterio.
to me, Mike giving a kick in response to the hug. Isn't that like every cat ever? You're trying to give it a hug, or you're trying to rub its belly, it starts kicking you like.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate actually. So Mike,
And actually, with
potentially
how
cats
fluid
confirmed.
the cats can be, they must secretly be symbiotes.
That's it.
Ah,
Do you know
of course.
actually?
Cats are symbiotes.
That's
good
what I was
parallel there.
saying, Burke. That's what I was saying, Burke. Mod in the chat saying the cutscene still plays out technically. That's all I was wondering is if the cutscene trigger still hits, then that's fine.
Okay.
As long as the cutscene
Oh.
trigger is there, as long as he's not skipping that cutscene trigger, it's kind of like hitting a
Ah.
double
Oh,
button.
but yeah, that.
But it's then the
still
same as Scale the Girders, according to Burke. So
But it
So does
doesn't
that mean we would
scale the girders.
allow
So then
that
it's not-
trick and
then it's-
scale the
then it's-
girders?
then it's not allowed. Soda needs to restart from his run, or this is an automatic loss. He has to restart from there. If it's exactly like scale the girders is what Burke's saying, then yeah.
Yeah, I guess again we'll probably just have to go back and I guess review the footage just to double check and
I
see
wouldn't-
exactly how much
I
of the
mean,
cutscene plays
it depends-
technically. Or
I mean, no.
It started
If
to-
we have a mod saying that it's like scale the girders, then
Basically, if we let him get away with that, then we have to allow that scale the girders trick to be usable in future runs of the race.
yep.
which is not on the table as well. So that's something we'll have to review with Soda. Fetty, if you want to try one more time to appeal to Soda to try to get that taken care of, that might be it. Now,
I know scale the girders without Spiderfly. I know that's what you mean, Burke, of where you like
Right.
skip the crate. Like the cutscene still plays, but we're just able to swing through it. Yeah.
Yep.
Or,
We
or
got you,
even if you
Bert.
don't use
So-
Spiderfly and you do that one drop.
So before Soda finishes the thing, just so we're very clear. Is he supposed to restart just stop the presses, or is he supposed to restart
He's
his
supposed to
run
go
from
he's supposed to go from
and
stop the
keep going?
presses, or it is a or is it or it's a DQ. And in this case, it would be he loses this race, which means Sponge automatically wins.
Right, we're going. So, Fetty, if you want,
I got
go
it.
ahead and appeal to him one more time. And while he's doing that, we'll just keep in mind that if Soda does not go back and start from stop the presses, we are going to be seeing we're going to be seeing a DQ, which this far along in the race,
Yeah,
even if Soda does go back through, that's not going to spell uh, a very easy win for Soda, and Sponge might actually take this.
yeah, that's what I was
honestly-
thinking. I'm
I-
almost
Well,
certain even if he restarts
we'll
now.
have to see what his luck is like in the last 3 boss fights, though, because those can be fun.
Those can be very interesting for sure, especially if Sponge has not been practicing either New Carnage or Doc Ock. It's going to be very interesting to see how this goes. Again, I'm going to say it's going to be by some miracle, but I think whether or not whether or not Soda decides to redo Stop the Presses, Sponge may run away with this race.
He's not going to because he's deafened. But thank you to Burke for clearing that up. That's what I was thinking as well
Yeah.
about the trigger coming in. How it's just even though the trigger plays, it's still skipping that.
Mhm.
I was going to allow it depending on how much of the trigger played, because it could be like double button. But Burke
Ooh.
makes a very good point.
He really
Berg
does.
makes a very good point about it being exactly like the old girders. So unfortunately, with a very impressive time coming from Sodalier being a 33:26.
Yeah, that's like
Um,
4 seconds off of record.
That is
if
4
it
seconds off
holds.
the world
Yeah,
record.
So damn, that is very, very impressive.
That is 4 seconds off the world record.
Then again, since he technically did a skip, then I
Yep,
guess you'd have to compare the time to what the world record for the game with skips is. So, in other words, it would be way off.
Which,
I wouldn't
truth be
say way
told,
off.
would put him in 7th place on
Yeah.
the any percent leaderboard.
Mhm.
But
Well, I tried to warn him as soon as I came in here. I went into runners. I tried to warn him, but
And you
someone-
did at him.
yeah, I mean, like we tried to warn him, but unfortunately, that it just didn't play out how it was supposed to play out. So
we'll talk about it a little bit more once we get our runners back here in the commentary.
and I
have
guess I'll stay here so he'll argue with me, and you guys can get your good content. I guess.
right. We might allow that argument to go on a little bit more. If it gets a little too heated, we can always move the conversation over to runners and update the tournament bracket as needed for that. But
I mean, as it stands right now, Sponge is our winner, unless Soda wants to go back to stop the presses. So like, unless Soda wants to go back to stop the presses and try to beat the game, Sponge is our winner at this moment in time.
Stop the presses.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. We've got
Right.
a 1 cycle
And this
potential attempt from Sponge.
Hey,
Here we go.
and
Fingers
that's
No,
crossed
the
those
pixel.
Oh,
The
pixel
pixel.
health.
and that's a great setup.
Damn.
And
Looking
this
really
exact
good.
situation is why we do encourage our runners to go on mute and not deafen when heading into the runners channel, so that we are able to communicate with them as needed. And they don't have to worry about hearing each other as long as they both remain muted. So we will see how this plays out when the final interview comes in. I feel like we're going to have a lot to talk about. But for now, let's go ahead and keep the attention here on Sponge, getting ready to round out his Doc Ock. And
I
there
thought
it
he had
is.
1 cycle. I
No,
guess the
pixel health.
I guess the
It was a
pixel health
pixel
really
health.
did decide to, come in clutch here.
Now it's time for him to take on his least favorite level. Let's see how he does.
Yeah.
Oh,
A shame, really,
indeed.
actually, as well, that we got the 2 cycles. I think he was on pretty good pace to beat his PB, which I believe is like a 38 something from memory. So it's definitely on track to beat
okay.
it, and it could still potentially, if he pulls this out. I'm not sure if he will now, just because we are ticking over to nearly the 37 mark by the time he finishes this level.
Right.
But yeah, to say the mistakes made in the early sections of this game, still a really, really good time from him.
Absolutely. I think the PB was just thrown off thanks to that tunnel crawl. We get another comic from Sponge, managing to grab it here in Carnage. How many comics is that for Sponge at this point?
I think it's only the two. As far as I'm aware, it's only the two. There was the one on Chase Venom and then this one just now, as far as I'm aware.
I swear he
Okay.
got one more. I could be wrong though.
If need be, we can go back and review the footage to make sure
Yeah.
that point totals are correct.
Indeed. There's been a
however,
fair bit going on.
So, yes, there'll be plenty of reviewing later, but for now, since each comic is only worth about 1 point, it shouldn't affect the point totals too much as far as what Sponge can pick out from the prize counter when we get to it. But for now, Sponge is getting ready to finish up Monster Rock. Let's
With
see
a
it.
really impressive run, honestly, keeping it close to the PB as well.
Yeah.
Coming in here,
Indeed.
coming in here looking very fantastic. Especially if he wouldn't have messed up in specific areas, this would have been a closer race regardless.
Very
So-
much. Very much.
I think our biggest pain points with Sponge's run are going to be the Unkind Jonah in Scorpion and the tunnel crawl for sure, and of course Sewer Cavern. Unfortunately,
Sewer
Toilet
Cavern,
pipes.
I was about to say, Sewer Cavern just unfortunately does take a lot of new runners' lives. It's one of those things that I will always say you need to be able to master that in order to start getting competitive times. So,
Unless you want to run kid mode.
unless you want to run kid mode whenever, and that's like the best way to
You-
do it.
and even that's not guaranteed, as we might have seen from clips from Tiger.
Yeah.
Even that is not a guaranteed win
Right.
for Sewer Cavern. The poor guy.
So
I do love that
crazy.
clip.
That is
I
so
do love that
crazy.
clip.
Just run off the
Guys, you
edge.
want to see the bet? You want to see the best God pipes ever? Oh,
Guys. Yeah.
Hey,
So good.
So if anyone who's a mod wants to start running a poll about how mad is Soda going to be at me specifically, is Soda going to accept the ruling, or do you think that he's going to argue and get mad at me? That is going to be the poll in chat at the moment. So if any of the mods want to go ahead and do that, we can do that. That's why I'm here, is to see how well this is gonna go. I think they both went on mute, because if I was Sponge here, I'd be taking my time collecting comics and, building up my repertoire. So
Did I just hear a dog?
you did just hear my dog going crazy, because I thought my fiance would close the door and not let my dog in here, but
He's just
that's
really
okay.
excited to see the end of this run. He's really keen.
yeah, super excited.
Boom. So
Either
there
that
it
or,
is.
either that or Monch gave him.
that's a
gave him
39,
crap.
46, 47. Looks like Sponge didn't stop his timer just yet.
46. It was 40. I was
Yeah,
on. I was on the Twitch stream for a second. It was a 46.
and that is going to be a little over a minute past this PB, which, considering everything that went wrong, is still a fantastic run. So let's go ahead and bring our runners in,
Oh,
and
boy.
let's see how this conversation goes.
Here,
Folks,
I
get
got it.
ready,
I'll
get
start
ready
it, don't
for.
worry. I'll start it. Don't worry. Like whenever they come in, I'll start.
Okay,
Sorry, you get ready for what, Chuck? What are we getting ready?
I was
for?
gonna say let's get ready to hear a bit of argument over the stream. Just to prepare our chat here, there's likely going to be a very heated argument coming up. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm
Who
scared.
knows? Who knows? There might not be, which would be crazy.
Surprisingly, neither of them have moved over to commentary, not even Soda.
I don't know what's going on with them. Like, do I need to like?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw a few times and GGs in chat, just
Oh, yeah,
to sort
true.
of
True.
just to sort of mark down that has been taken care of, and maybe that'll be exactly what we need to bring everyone over, and we'll give everyone just a couple minutes to hop into the commentary channel.
Indeed. And here
All
we
right.
are.
And welcome,
boys.
welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Did you see that
Well,
run?
So,
That was amazing.
so congratulations to both runners. And congratulations to Sponge for winning. How are you feeling today, man?
Yo, everyone.
GG Sponge.
Oh, Yo, I
GG,
feeling I don't know how I feel. I thought I lost for sure, but I know there was some type of technicality. I didn't know it was though.
Yeah, I did immediately try to go into runners and ask it and basically explain the situation, and both of y'all, I guess, were deafened. So
Yeah, yeah. I heard you, but I thought I was at stop and presses when you were there, so I thought you saw you talk to Salty or something.
I was
Yeah.
talking to Soda. Soda, were you deafened or muted?
No, I was muted.
So
I couldn't unmute myself.
Did not even acknowledge.
so whenever I said when I said,
Oh.
"Hey, restart, stop the presses," you messed up. Like you skipped. You just ignored
Bro,
me.
you said restart stop the presses when I was on Monster Rock. I couldn't
I
stop,
know.
dude.
I said restart, stop. Okay. I said
Wait, what happened?
restart, stop the presses while you were on basement. You were going
Yeah,
into Mysterio.
he did. He
We
did.
Did
did
it?
manage to get.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
we did
I
manage
did.
to get Fetty in pretty quickly after we
I came in
noticed
really
that.
quickly. Yeah.
As
I came
he
in
said,
really
we
quick.
need Fetty to review whether that's a skipped. Fetty was here in a flash.
And we have mod confirmation, Soda, so it's not just me anymore. We have mod confirmation that that's a skip.
We did.
Yeah.
We did get
What's-
confirmation from Burke.
We did get confirmation from Burke.
Of
Yep.
course, it's Burke. Burke,
Perfect.
the ever reliable Burke, always here to make the
So,
rule.
It just like
My
he said
hero.
he said it acts exactly like the girder skip without flag spider, which I completely agree with. So,
Are you
Soda,
skipping a cutscene?
yeah, you did technically the cutscene still plays. You're just at a different part in the cutscene.
Yeah.
So yes, which means that you skip the beginning trigger of the cutscene, just like skipping the crate.
Mhm.
Oh, is
Yes,
that
that
different from like skipping the switches though? In
Are they gonna add that on the rules then?
are they gonna add it on the rules? I don't think we knew that
Yeah.
skip existed until you just did it.
Oh,
No, I
okay.
mean
Yeah.
Nilo did
No,
it.
Milkweed showed
Nilo
it
did
off,
it
I
on
think.
the.
So
Nilo show it
yeah,
on the strat
Yeah,
talk.
it's
but
been in the
isn't
Discord. I've definitely
that
seen it in
skip
Discord.
isn't that skip similar to like stop like to push the buttons in the second level though?
See, that's what I thought, and Burke actually just made a really good point. I was going to allow it until Burke made his really good point of the cutscene bars still appear even if you
Oh.
skip the crate on girders. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
once Burke made that point, everything became clear. So
Yeah.
Alright.
I so
Makes sense.
on a technical yeah yeah I'm sure it sounds like it does Soda. Um, I get on a technicality, Sponge. Congratulations on winning the race.
Thanks. And
And
GG.
moving on.
can
And,
someone check if that's a PB as well? It might be.
no, you are a minute
It
off.
is. It is not. But you still had a really solid run, given some of the challenges you faced, like Scorpion and Sewer Cavern, of course.
Yeah.
Any particular pain points you wanna bring up, and things you might want to work, you think you want to work on for your next run.
Okay. So what's that level called with the columns? That
That's
the one.
sewer. That's Sewer Cavern.
Yeah, Silver Cavern went terribly. I was hitting the trick. I thought I was hitting going to the right spot, but apparently I wasn't. But somehow worked the third try, so that's clearly something I need to figure out.
Mhm.
Carnage went actually pretty well this time,
Yeah.
like too well actually, based on
Pretty
my
smooth.
history. Carnage.
Pretty
Um,
smooth there.
Doc. I don't know why I did it in Docker Rock. I don't know if I hit the switch too early or not, but it's something I did wrong. We'll review the
Yeah,
footage, but
that was really unlucky.
that
Yeah,
was
for him to survive with like a pixel of health. It happens to the best of us. To be fair.
yeah, that sucks so much. I
Yes.
was so confident to go into it. I got it, and then just to realize, no, he's not dead yet. So that was so disappointing.
Oh.
But yeah, other
Doc
than that,
Ock is a butt munch.
yeah, yeah, and of course,
Uh,
my the last stage, Spatty versus Monster Walk, I believe it's called. That's like
Mhm.
the I'm like still 30 seconds behind of best time. So, but other than that, I think this went pretty well.
It did.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah.
for my skill level, my PP is like a 38 something. Just compare.
I
Yeah.
mean, all things considered, both runs were great, including Soda's, who legitimately this is legitimately, Soda, you are you're 4 seconds off a world record. If that wasn't not by mods considered a skip, how are you
4
feeling about?
seconds.
How are you
Sorry.
feeling? Is that why? Did you see that the pace was there, and that's why Is that why you kind of didn't go for any of the points because you were just trying to go for record? I'm guessing.
I was trying to go for PB. Yeah, I was trying
Yeah.
to go for PB.
Okay.
Like I think, yeah, last race when with Nilo and Bonta, Nilo got the prize I wanted to get. So
Oh no!
Ah,
Oh.
sniped.
Oh.
yeah, he sniped the
Oh.
prize. So I said, you know what? Then I'm just going for PB. I don't want to do any points.
I mean, hey, there's still the copy of EE, dude.
I'm sure he's so keen on getting that.
but like
Yeah.
I don't want to run E on hardware.
Well, I mean, Soda,
Uh,
you might just want a good coaster for your desk,
True.
you know,
True.
for your drinks.
That's true. I mean, I have how many points? Like 5?
You have
Okay,
5
You've got
points. Yeah.
5. Correct.
You can buy one. You can buy one of the spider.
Oh, in
ribbons.
fact, I guess technically
go.
because that didn't count as a win, you've got 2 because some
Oh,
of them
no.
were in the winner race bit. So I guess technically
Oh,
man.
no.
we're gonna take
Oh,
some
no.
points off.
That is
So-
unfortunate.
Oh, yeah, I guess not finishing a legal run, we don't get the 10 points
Yep.
for
Yeah,
that.
you don't
Okay.
get 10 points for finishing
let's
a run.
go.
How many cartridges did we end up with? 2?
I don't know. I remember. I
He
think it was
at-
2 or 3. I don't. I
Well,
actually don't
okay.
remember.
I'm in the VOD. I'm
he
in the
was at-
VOD.
He was
Yeah.
at 2, I
How many
think.
points did I get?
You are at 47. I don't know if they
47.
counted
you've
your.
got Hitman points.
I don't know if they counted your good joke, by the way. But I don't know if they counted your web cartridges.
That's what I'm just
or
going back
any-
to double check
or
now.
Oh yeah,
there's
I
a
got
few
like
things.
at least 8. I feel like I got like 5 web cartridges.
or winning your race or finishing your run.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know
is
if they
all
added
still
all
to
those.
come.
Yeah.
Bear with. So you won 3. We're on 3 web catches at the end. So I can add that in. And then if we say you won the race, so that's a 2 there. You finished a run, that's a 2 there. So this should be now
But-
accurate. We're at 70 points. 70 points.
70
70 points.
70
not
points.
bad.
Let's go.
Very nice.
Soda, I do want to ask you a question though. When did you realize that you were on PB pace?
That was after Lizard Maze. I was -9.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Mm.
wow.
Oh.
Oof.
Very
Yeesh.
interesting. What we noticed, it's very interesting then that you decided not to go for any comics prior to that, because a lot of these easier comics you seem to skip up to
Yeah.
that point. So
Well, I mean, like when I started the race, I wanted to go for PB, and I realized that I was on PB pace when I was on Lizard Maze. That's what I'm trying to say.
I see. So the mindset was always on getting that PB, not necessarily switching over to that mindset once you realize you were on PB pace.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh,
I
that's skip. Sorry.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I got the skip that Saltier got. The web cage. What
Got
was
it?
it called? The what's it called? Vent
Stop the
skip
press.
is it?
Web dome.
No, the one you skip the cutscene when going to the air vent and stop the presses.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that
just
looks
got
cool.
that. Yeah,
It looked cool, right?
yeah, it does. Oh yeah, don't forget to add up the points when I hug Mikey or Nicky, whatever his name is.
Yes,
Mike.
Mike.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Mike.
Mike, yeah. I
Absolutely.
make sure I hug him really good.
Yeah. He gave you a quick boot on the way out as well, which was nice. of
No,
course.
he hit me.
Yeah.
Oh,
He gave you a high
that's their guess.
five, dude. He gave you a high five.
A painful one.
All right. Do we have is there any more questions for this race or for our runners?
Yeah, this is my
Bro, I have a
question.
question.
You guys, our runners
Runners have
have
got questions,
questions.
okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right,
Let's
let's
talk-
go ahead with Sponge. Let's go with Sponge first since they spoke up first. So
Okay.
Sponge, what is your question?
So that's Saltier. Did you make any mistake during that run?
Huh?
Did you make any mistakes?
A mistake?
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
I
like-
got like a very bad bump. I got a
You made a big
bad,
mistake.
like 2 levels of chase were bad. And then, oh yeah, sewage plant was also very slow. Couldn't get the fast route.
Oh.
And yeah,
Okay, I don't think
Yeah,
I
I
need to
think.
list. I
Yeah,
don't think I need to list out all the mistakes I made.
it's
probably
a
was
bit scary
100
seeing
mistakes.
3326 and being like, that definitely could have been faster.
Yeah,
That's a
because
bit
some of those
scary.
mistakes were probably like 3 seconds. My big mistakes were, of course, with dying twice to the pole stage and stuff like that,
Right.
and the octavit. Those are like 3 mistakes I noticed at least.
Right,
Fair
right.
enough.
Yeah.
Soda, what's your
And
question?
Well, my question is for Ferry, like here, because you messaged me saying, "Bro, I'm sorry," but like, bro,
Yeah,
bro,
hey,
why are you sorry, bro?
you're literally going to leak DMs. I literally
No,
said,
I'm just saying.
I literally said, hey, I said, Soda, dude, I'm sorry, bro. I was on your side until I got mod confirmation, which is very fucking true with how this shit went
Yeah,
down.
I'm
Yeah.
not sorry, bro. It's just a
And
game.
it is
Like,
very. Why are you? What?
I mean, it's just a game. Lost, I
and
lost.
with that,
Well,
and with that, we'll go ahead and wrap up our questions here, unless Spire Energy Group have anything substantial they'd like to ask about. I think that's a good point to wrap up. Otherwise,
I think, yeah. For
sounds
the content, yeah, wrap up there.
excellent.
All
Well,
right,
before we do wrap
let-
up, I guess we've got to head to that price counter just in case there's anything that wants to be redeemed. Certainly, I
yeah.
don't think 5 points, unfortunately, or 2 points, I should say. I'm so sorry. Does get you anything. But 70 points for you, Exotic Sponge. Is there anything you would
Okay.
like to claim from our little prize
Okay.
shop?
Let me go to the stream to see the prize.
Yes, please do. So I think I'll
and
take a look. I can confirm what you could potentially purchase. So for 70 points, you can pick up the Amazing Spider-Man Volume 2 23 copy of that. You can pick up the Spider-Man plush, that's at 30 points. Or you've got both the Spider-Woman action figure and the Julia Carpenter Spider-Woman action figure. So those are the ones you can purchase if you want to claim your prize now. Otherwise, you can bank your points and continue to save.
How many? What's the most? Like, is it things more expensive than 70?
there are there are plenty of things that are more expensive than 70. So if you'd like all of our other runners, if you'd like to bank your points, you're welcome to. Keep in mind that once you do cash out your points to grab a prize, you will not be eligible to pick up any more. But also, we do have some very interesting things related to the points coming up. So it's very much a risk and reward thing for you. So we will leave it up to you as to how you'd like to handle your points.
Indeed. I have sent you the document if you want to have a quick scan through to see what some points are worth. So if you
How much
anything
is this?
potentially.
I don't have the original PlayStation, so I can't play PlayStation games, but I might get the Spider-Man 2 disc.
Spider-Man 2 is at 100 points, so you're not too far off that, to be
100
fair.
points.
So if you want to
I
save
might
up,
aim,
Man.
not a bad shout.
I might aim for that. I consider playing that game eventually.
Wild to
very
think
good.
that poor Soda will have both versions of Spider-Man sniped away from him.
Oh, Salty is going for that too. I might have to get that sooner than I want to then.
Well,
But
you're
yeah, I
getting
think
closer to
you
100
are gonna
points.
need
yeah,
you are gonna need more points.
Yeah, I think I'm
if
to
you're gonna
bank
grab it.
points.
Okay.
Excellent.
Also, I want
Oh,
to point
also-
out,
also,
my
it-
friend Comet just messaged me because he came in partway through the stream to see the giant More the Chicken image and was like, I thought the stream was for Spider-Man. What's going on here?
Well, that's just Soda's face. That is the face reveal for this tournament.
when I first look at this prize box, I almost thought there was actually that chicken for sale until I saw the timer. Then it was salty as thing.
That's the secret prize. Yeah, we've not revealed that actually yet.
Okay. Well,
Lovely.
with both of our runners then deciding to keep their points, whether by choice or by necessity, we will not be spending any points on prizes today. So keep in mind that we have plenty of prizes left to go forward. But for now, I think it's time for us to wrap up. We'll give our quick final sign-offs. Soda, where can we find you?
You can find me in Twitch TV /MorteChicken. Well, no, yeah, /Soda here. I just do streams for a lot of speedruns, a lot of them involving chickens, and yeah, there you go.
And
Sorry,
Sponge. And Sponge, where can we find you outside of Spider Runs?
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitch _ at the end. Exotic Sponge. I do speedruns of mini games. I'm mainly just focused on Spider-Man right now. So you can check me out there. I also have a little YouTube as well. You can check out some cool tricks if you want. Maybe some never 14 tricks. So there you can find me. Same name.
Very nice.
Yeah.
G Groove, where can we find you?
Well, I'm not really doing anything at the moment. I guess if you want to follow me at twitch.tv/ggroove, and it is GGR00V3, because apparently people already had that name. If should I just link it in the should I just link my channel at this point in the chat? That might be
We-
easier. Don't
That's
like
probably
pause.
easier.
Okay, there
I
it is.
gotcha,
We
I
have
There we
gotcha.
go.
we have it right there, just in case we have auto mod
The
options in
blog.
there.
Well, that's right. I technically have a blog, but I have not updated it in like 2 months. But I guess if you want to follow the blog, I will Flying Felicia on WordPress. I'll just post the link like right here in the chat. There you go.
Nice.
Hopefully,
cool.
I plan on getting a new entry out sometime in the next week, but yeah, that has not been updated in a while.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
And then finally, Spyron, where can we find you?
Yeah, so twitch.tv/Spyron. I'm potentially going to try and stream tomorrow because I might have some time actually if I'm not
Oh, what
working
you
tomorrow, which I
streaming?
did forgot. I don't know yet. Actually, I'm still debating. And I've said that I want to because I'm hoping we can push for a leaderboard where we have both games back to back. So I might do that, and then it's like, okay, we've got one ready to submit, and that hopefully encourages the mods to put that on the leaderboard
Hold
somewhere.
on, can I just point out one more? Can I just point out one more thing
Of course,
before
yes,
we
please
wrap
do.
up? Apparently, because I keep forgetting to change the censor thing on my Twitch account, when I saw the message, and thank you to Nerd you two nerd got censored for some reason.
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Oh, boy.
And speaking of which, and I'm sure
Thank
Fetty's
you
here
to
to tell us about it.
Thank you to Nerd You for sponsoring this tournament. I am really appreciative for everything that they've done and helping me with grabbing prizes and also putting up some of my own. So thank you to Nerd You for sponsoring all of these tournament events and to keep a great tournament going with some great competitors and some great runners and just some great prizes in general. So if you need anything from them, go ahead and check them out. You can check them out on Facebook, their Discord. The links are popping everywhere. We're just flying off the handle. And honestly, Felicia's blog is a good read. And Spyron leaking the fact that I also wanted to run that marathon with him tomorrow. So there's that. But hey,
What?
hey, shout out to all of our contestants. Shout out to all of our runners. Thank you both for stopping by. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah,
I
all
think
good.
that's everything.
Last
Thank
thing
you
we
again
need
to
to
Nerd
ask-
You for
hold on.
everything.
Before we end,
Sure.
Chuck, where do we find you? We didn't ask you because you
Oh,
were asking
yeah,
everyone else.
that's right. That's right.
You can find me here on Spider Runs. Basically, I do have twitch.tv/Chuck Nicey. If you are interested, I stream very sparingly, but if I do, that's where you can find me. Otherwise, you'll see me here on Spider Runs.
All right, cool. And Spyron, roll that outro.
Yeah.
And don't miss
Goodbye.
it.